so welcome to part 3 of the DIY Poseable Creature. So today we are going to be furring little Quartz, that is his name officially now. I have the fur over here for him. We're going to be doing, let's reach over here. Sorry guys, my area is a little bit messy. Can you tell which videos I was filming? I wonder. It's funny, this video might come out before these come out, so either this is a preview of what will be coming, or it is a little happy tidbit that only my loyal little art sprites will know what it is. Anyway, so I have this fur here. I'm going to do it around the head. The head is really going to be the hardest part, and I'm not totally sure how I want to film the rest of furring the body. I may just do pieces and parts of it to show you, because it would be really long if I show you exactly how I do it, and pretty much it's a lot of sewing. And I do this by hand. I'm sure you could do it with a sewing machine, I just don't have the patience for it. So that's why I do it with by hand. I do, as another little preview of anything else you need to know, I do use hot glue around the feet area so that I can attach the fur after I've sewn it to the bottom so it doesn't move as much. There's a likelihood if you move it too much it will break off and it would have to be re-hot glued. But so far, most of the time, art dolls are used as art dolls. They're not supposed to be, you know, tyrannically played with. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to start with the head because it's going to be a little bit difficult to, first of all, glue this on. I'm planning, because this is such a strange head, you wouldn't usually have as much problem as I'm going to have making this, because usually you're not trying to do a clock face that has to be able to be pulled in and out. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty simple job. You would just have to glue like the feet kind of thing. Sorry, if you hear that noise, that's my dog drinking water. I have a Yorkie and a Maltese. You'll probably see them more often now. The Maltese sits on my bed and the Yorkie will occasionally come in. But anyways, enough about my dogs. Let's get into making this. I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to let you know of any new videos of weekly art inspirations that will be coming out. Remember that you guys are amazing and can do all kinds of fun stuff. Comment below if you have any ideas for anything else you'd like to see me do, or something you've seen me do that you'd like to know more about. I don't know what we'll be at for this video, so stay tuned at the end of the video to find out if we're doing a 50 subscriber giveaway still, or if we're doing 100, which would be awesome. And with that said, just be sure to be awesome. Oh, and make sure that if you want to be featured in my upcoming videos, if you do art, if you do any weekly art inspiration inspired work, if you do a one marker challenge, if you try creating a poseable creature, please tag me in any social media. A Star Briar Art on almost everything. DeviantArt, Twitter, Instagram is my main place, but if you tag me there, I will be sure to feature your art, as well as we'll get back to the DIYs. I'm doing a little bit more close up just so that it's here. But on my wall behind me, I will be putting up your art that you guys have done, because it's so awesome to see the cool things that you are inspired by, and I'm so grateful I get to do something like this that hopefully I can help you guys stay inspired and continue to create amazing art. Okay, anyways, enough with my little droning on. Let us get started on the video, guys. Let's go. Okay, guys, so me being the incredibly smart person that I am, I'm just going about my work, and I totally did the whole face of just gluing it around, there we go, gluing it around the center of it. I'm so stupid. Sorry guys. It's one of those things where lately I have been doing a lot of art that's off camera, that's off YouTube for my book. And so I am just so used to just putting my head down and grinding and working that I just totally forgot. But I'll just explain really quick. The rim is right underneath here. I just did a one layer of glue on top and just wrapped the fur around it. So hopefully what will happen is, I haven't tried it, but I should be able to just push in the clock face, because it has these little points on the side, be able to push it in and it will still hold it. And then I think it'll take a little bit of work to get it out, but I should be able to get it out pretty easily. So now what we're gonna do with this little guy is I'm going to bring these two pieces together and sew this, and pretty much I'm just gonna sew this. I'm not even gonna cut some of the, well, I may cut one part right here just because it's fitting weird around his neck, but otherwise I might not. So I'll sew that, and then I have some black fur that I'm going to use to do a lot of the body. I might add some other color, but at the moment I think I'm going to keep it with a white, gray, and black tone, just because I think it kind of, it accents the light gray blue of his eyes. And I want it to be a kind of little clockwork creature. I don't know what's on my finger. And I'll be adding probably some more little details to him to add a pop of color to make him a little bit more unique. But yeah, so that was gluing it. Sorry I didn't capture it on film, but as you can see, it's just the fur that has been tacked on to this rim. And so from there, let's get sewing. So while doing this, one of the things I really like doing is for the head, this is a much harder head to do because it was a lot wider at the top for the clock to go in. And so sewing it, I had to do a little bit differently than I would normally do. I did it a little bit wider so there was some room underneath for there to be a lot of motion and movement. And I had already cut out a piece. A lot of times you can actually use very strange cuts of fabric for creatures and they work really, really well. Another thing was too is when I cut the fabric for the leg, you can kind of see that I cut a piece and then I kind of form it. I will then do more cuts just to get it the exact length that it needs to be so that it fits and that I can sew it really easily. And it takes me about probably 10 or 15 minutes to do each leg. Also, just so you guys know, you don't have to be great at sewing to be able to accomplish making a creature. I'm not super great and I still create creatures, so just so you know. Okay guys, so I actually, whoops, sorry for my finger. A-class everything right there. I'm really sorry about not being able to show doing all of the sewing. I'll kind of go through and explain a little bit so that it's not kind of just left in the dark. The sewing part is pretty simple, honestly. When you cut the fabric, you want to almost place it on the front of the leg and then go to the back of the leg to decide where it needs to be cut, and always cut a little bit larger than you expect. It'll ensure that if you need to cut it later, you can do that. One of the other things I did too is when I do a lot of my creatures, I usually start with the head, and I work on the head so that I have the chest hair started, and I have where the underside of the belly is going to be. And so what I do is after that I go to each leg and I will usually attach each leg. This one I did a little different. I did the head, front two legs, and then I did the main part of the body hair that goes right to the end of the tail, and underneath it only goes to about right below the back crotch area. There's no nice way to put that, but the back area right here. And then I looped the fabric around and went underneath the back so that it connected seamlessly around the little butt area. And then I did both back legs and I did the tail. And the tail took two parts. You can do, for each part of it, by the way, when I do each part, I'll usually do it slower. So when I do, what I'll do is I'll do, like, say with this, I put on this part, sewed all of that together to this front part because that connects here, here, underside, and the other leg, so connecting all of those pieces. And then I made sure that with this one, I have to connect this edge and sew along here. So hopefully that kind of makes some sense. It might not. But like I said before, when I get done, I glued around underneath this fur so it hangs down on the feet, which you can see right there. I do have it to where if you pull it up, you can kind of see that there's a line, but usually the fur I try and have down. I did trim around so there's a little bit more definition. I might trim a little bit more there. But for the most part, I trimmed just around the front part of the leg, so there's some definition of body. The rest of this I wasn't really too choosy about. I didn't really want to trim too much. The tail I did trim so that we get kind of that nice, almost cat-like appearance, which I wanted to go for with this little guy. And I just almost, hold on. No. Okay. No perfume. I've already spilled enough perfume, thank you. But there's what he kind of looks like at the moment. He actually looks really cute. I'm super happy with him. I don't know if I'm going to sell him or keep him. He may become what will be given away when we hit 100 subscribers. I'm not really sure. So we'll just see. But Quartz, I'm going to right now put in his little face piece. So I have his little face piece and it is ticking. You can kind of hear it. So I have his face piece I need to put in, and I had an old t-shirt that I really loved, and I washed the fabric and then I cut it apart, and so I think this is going to become his little scarf that he will have around him. But what I'll do is I'll capture, I believe, the video just really quickly. You know what, no, I'll probably just put this stuff on him, and then I'll do a really quick video of what I do kind of in the background to go and end out this series of how I take pictures of my poseable creatures and kind of my tips and tricks that I use to get good pictures of your poseable creatures, because that's also very important. When you want to do a poseable creature, it's like a paper doll, which I'll have a link up above in the cards to the paper dolls that I've done, because that also is kind of the same idea, but you're creating something that you want to look like it's alive, like it's moving, like it has some realism to it, and that's the funnest part about it, is that you get to see something come to life that you've created. And so that's what I'm really trying to do with this little guy, and so yeah. So that is the full tutorial on how to create him. I'm sorry guys I didn't have more videos showing how I sew. It's just really, really hard, and I don't really have a great setup yet for how to do that. So at the moment we just have this little guy, and you know, any questions you have, be sure to comment below and I will definitely answer any of them that you have questions about. But yeah, let's go on to taking some pictures. So it should be mentioned, I went over to a park that was near my house. It was on a really stormy day. There is a rainbow in the background a lot of times, which really was fun to have. It was super duper stormy, and it actually made for really, if you're taking photos of anything, it makes for really great lighting. You don't have to do very much to it because the lighting already is created with the clouds. And so that's what I really wanted to do, and I already knew this field was yellow, and it offsets his really, really dark colors, and so that's why I wanted to bring Quartz there. There's one of the finished pictures. I think some of them turned out really cool. I would move him and put him in grass in different areas, and I get down on the level of him so that in the pictures it looks like it's a creature that's real. You want to make sure that you're on the same level as the thing you're creating, so it looks very lifelike. That wasn't one of my favorite pictures I did, but I thought it was cool. Another one I did on this road here, and it just turned out looking really, really cool to have the rainbow in the background. There was actually a double rainbow. And so yeah, that's a look at doing some of the pictures. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. If you'd like me to do more poseable creatures or anything like that, let me know. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and just stay amazing. Let's get our little art sprites growing, and when we hit 100, we'll be doing something special. Not sure what it is yet, but remember guys, you are amazing. Have a credible day, and see you later.